A couple of quick pieces of advice. I like having the remote on the wall, but I probably went a year just having it in my hand and setting it somewhere, and then I just decided to put it up, and I really love it. I don't miss just having it easy. I mean, you can like pull it in and out of there, but I just don't do it. I just touch it on the wall. I guess I can go over some of the buttons really quick too. So stop, right? And you can kind of see how that's aimed at like the surface of the tush and splashing away. And then that one looks like the water's going past. Well, you can kind of get how that one is more of a stream. It's like an enema, I suppose. And then that's for ladies never tried that. That's the fan. It will blow warm air to dry you. I don't use it that often. This will just kind of make the water move around. And that's the charcoal filter. This is the temperature for the water. And you can see where's the thermometer thing doing the levels. And then, so this one is the temperature for the seat. It can get quite hot. We generally leave it on, even in the winter, just on one is plenty. And so, plus and minus is the strength of the stream, no matter what thing you're using. And then these move, longitudinally the nozzle a little bit. And that's like clock stuff. Is kind of self-explanatory. I included some Teflon tape on like the plastic. On plastic, generally you don't need, I mean, you can put some Teflon tape, but you generally is not where you're going to need it. The people that I've seen need it, and when I've needed it is when it's like metal on metal or metal on plastic. And you can kind of just see how it works. Normally you just have this line that goes, up into the toilet. So you install this kind of T situation, and then that pulls off here, and then that feeds it. That's really all it is. And then of course the power for it. Oh, and there, if you don't have the remote or whatever, there's the actual physical buttons on the toilet. But you can see there's not that many settings. One drawback is this really is not a seat like on normal toilet seats. So if you're sitting on this, like you want to just sit there, there's a sensor, and it's located like right here. And so if you like get up or something, it will just shut off. But like if you want to like show someone how it works, like what I would do is like I'd put like my hand there and then have like a glass, so you can see it like spray up without shooting across the room, and then just lift your hand and it turns off. And actually, our water normally isn't blue. I think Kristen just added this. I believe they advise against those additives. So don't take this as something you should do. Actually, I should look into that, because as I recall, you're not supposed to. And one thing you actually can do is get these sort of like iodine. It's like an inline filter, and it will kind of put a little bit of iodine into the water that goes in there. And then what that helps is prevent the growth that can be like in that little flap, like where the nozzle goes and tucks away, and just keeps it extra sanitary. I've used it before. It's just not essential, but it's just kind of like a nice little extra. In fact, you'll find that you'll, like for instance, you don't like this one, you want to use the 1000, which is very powerful even on the lowest settings, FYI. That style, it has the tank of the water, whereas this is just continuous flow. Those are the ones that tend to need those iodine treatments more, but I have used them in both because, like I said, it just makes maintenance on it just a lot easier.